Are you within your first year of trying to conceive and struggling on this journey? There might be one crucial mistake holding you back. Picture this: you're on a treasure hunt, searching for that elusive golden nugget of fertility. You have a map in your hands, and it's guiding you through each step. But there's one problem: you're ignoring a key piece of information. That's the number one mistake many women make when trying to get pregnant. They overlook the power of charting their fertility. So, today I want to give you some practical tips for effective fertility charting. Hola, it's Avi, aka Octavia Steen, natural fertility doula, health coach, and creator of the faith-based business Mother Mindset. Welcome to the Fertile Faith Podcast, a podcast that helps women of God who are trying to get pregnant naturally to overcome negative thoughts and balance her hormones so she no longer has to be overwhelmed and consumed by her TTC journey. I'm so glad that you're here, sis. I can't wait to dive into this episode. I started my own journey not knowing this crucial step. I started my journey just relying on OPKs, ovulation test and in a dream, right? Relying on ovulation tests to tell me, confirm my ovulation each month. And it just was not working for me. It was not working for me. And it wasn't working for me because I was indeed not confirming ovulation with ovulation tests because they don't confirm ovulation. They can only detect the LH in possible surges, but there could be multiple surges in your cycle depending on your own body. And just with all of these things, I finally figured out that I needed to chart my cycle, right, in order to get pregnant. And even when charting my cycle, I was able to look at my chart and see some irregularities that were going on, and be able to, right, take those. And as a fertility coach now, I look back, I was really doing a lot of research to figure out like what is going on with my chart, even though I had 28-day cycles, even though I had what you would call quote unquote a regular cycle. There were just some things still going on. And I could see that from my chart, right? And so I want to dive into some practical tips that will help you navigate the charting world with ease and accuracy, right? Whether you're new to this or you're looking to fine tune your charting skills, I hope that these guidelines will set you on a path to success. So let's just get right into it. Charting tips, my best charting tips. And let's start with charting basal body temperature. So when you're charting your basal body temperature, you want to use a reliable digital basal thermometer. And that is a thermometer that has two decimal numbers after the decimal point. You can find these on Amazon. I'll link down below into the show notes. The one that I have that I love because I can actually take my temperature, and if I accidentally fall back to sleep, I can press it and it gives me the last reading. I didn't have that with my previous one, and this has been a game changer. And so, with the basal body thermometer, you also want to make sure that you're changing them out every so often because batteries do kind of, deplete, and the effectiveness of your thermometer can be affected. So, use a reliable digital basal body thermometer. Next, take your temperature first thing in the morning before getting out of bed. Oh my goodness, before getting out of bed. And, sometimes I will pop up, right? I have a 1-year old who, will wake up, and sometimes I just pop up out of bed, and that's not good for my basal body, my basal body temping. But, when you take your temperature first thing in the morning, I personally try to do the roll method. If I'm too far away from my thermometer, I tend to roll and try to like not boost my temperature too much by doing, quick movements. And so I roll, get my thermometer, and pop it in my mouth. So take it first thing in the morning. And Consistency is key, right? So we want to aim for the same time each day, because although your temperatures will fluctuate, right? You might have a kind of jagged pattern in your BBTs when you're first getting the hang of it, right? But consistency is key. We don't want to take our temperature at 6 a.m. one day and then take our temperature at 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. the next, right? So we want to be consistent with the timing of the how we wake up each morning, right? And that's even good for your sleep habits. Um, Record your temperature in a dedicated fertility chart or an app. Now, I know a lot of people don't use the paper charts. I myself use an app. And so I found that I like the Fertility Front app the most when I'm charting my basal body temperature. I'm currently trying out Pre-Mom, and I'm not a fan of Pre-Mom because it keeps trying to tell me when, like, it keeps shifting, like, the ovulation day, like it doesn't know what's going on with my cycle. I know what's going on with my cycle, but it doesn't know. And so it's kind of annoying me. But you want to record your temperatures in a chart in an app so that you can see where your temperature will spike, right? And once that spike happens, that temperature spike, you want to look for a sustained temperature rise after ovulation. And it's higher. Your rise obviously will be higher than the pre-ovulatory phase. So before you ovulate, you have lower temperatures, and then after you ovulate, you will have higher temperatures. And this temperature shift signifies that ovulation happened, right? And it indicates the end of your fertile window. And this is especially important for women who have PCOS, who have longer cycles, right? And aren't able to kind of figure out when they ovulate. And so this can be helpful to see patterns and trends in your charts to see when you ovulate. Next, let's talk about charting cervical mucus. With cervical mucus, you want to observe and note the changes in your cervical mucus on a daily basis, right? And this is on a daily basis in your fertile window. And usually cervical mucus is only present in the fertile window. If it's present throughout your whole cycle, you may have some hormonal things going on. And then you want to pay attention to the texture, the color, and the consistency, right? Note whether it is dry, sticky, creamy, slippery, right? Does it resemble raw egg whites, right? That peak cervical mucus. The presence of creamy or slippery, stretchy cervical mucus indicates your peak cervical mucus. So as you approach ovulation, you'll observe that there's an increase in that peak cervical mucus, the fertile quality cervical mucus. And like I said, it's characterized by stretchiness, and it resembles just like creamy lotion or raw egg whites. Now, for charting your cervical position, if you are one of those women who the very few who chart their cervical position, sometimes I chart my cervical position. It's not consistent for me, but you want to wash your hands, right, thoroughly before checking your cervical position, right? Because we're going inside. And then you'll insert a clean finger, right? And feel for your cervix. And your cervix, when you're not in your fertile window, your cervix, or when you're not approaching ovulation, your cervix will feel like the tip of your chin. It'll be hard. And then when you're approaching your ovulation, it'll feel like the tip of your nose, right? Which is softer. And so you want to note the position, right? The firmness and the openness of the cervix. And the openness is just the opening of your cervix. It's like I'd say like a dimple. It feels like a dimple, a deep dimple. And as far as the position, whether it's high or low, during your fertile window, the cervix tends to be higher. It'll be softer, like the tip of your nose, and it'll be more open. That dimple will be more open. All right. So that is your fertility signs, charting your fertility signs. I didn't want to make this really long, but I also want to give you some tips on utilizing fertility tracking apps, right? The tools that we use. So you want to choose a tracking app that works for you, right? That aligns with your preferences. Pre-mom right now is not aligning with my preferences, but I'm using it because I have a client who's using it, and I want to be able to really figure out how it works. And so I personally like Fertility Friend, even though it is super basic and it's super like old school. I like it because it just gives me what I need, the facts. And so look for features that allow you to input and track your BBT, your cervical mucus, and your cervical position, right, in an easy way. Many apps provide charts and graphs to help you visualize your data and identify patterns. And you could also set reminders or alarms to ensure that you stay consistent in taking your temperature and recording, everything that you observe during your cycle. And some apps even have, additional features like ovulation predictions based on your data, which sometimes are incorrect unless you're putting in your basal body temperature, which is helpful. Hey sis, today's episode is brought to you by the Fertility Prayer Bundle, a powerful resource designed to support you on your trying to conceive journey. Are you tired of feeling overwhelmed and uncertain during this important time in your life? Well, the Fertility Prayer Bundle has got you covered. Let me tell you about what it includes. First up, we have the Fertility Prayer Checklist, a game changer in your prayer life. This checklist empowers you with 4 simple steps to pray with confidence and effectiveness. Say goodbye to feeling lost or overwhelmed with too much information. The 4 main steps for fertility prayer will take you by the hand and show you exactly what to do to create a prayer practice that is both impactful and meaningful. Plus, the beautiful branded pages provide a peaceful and inspiring reading experience that resonates with your heart. And there's more. Right? I'm also including the 2-week wait devotional. This Christian devotional is a beacon of faith during those nerve-wracking 2 weeks while you're eagerly waiting to see if you're pregnant. With 23 pages of deep and meaningful content, it will keep you connected with the Lord, right, throughout this crucial period. Lastly, there's a TTC checklist to ensure you're taking all the necessary steps while on your journey. It's like having a trusted companion by your side, guiding you every step of the way. So, whether you're struggling with fertility challenges or simply want to enhance your prayer life during this special time, the Fertility Prayer Bundle is here to support you with compassion and understanding. Head over to mothermindset.com/prayer today and get your hands on this incredible bundle that combines knowledge, faith, and closeness with the Lord into one free package. Did I say that it was free? Free fertility prayer bundle. Remember, you don't have to walk this path alone. The fertility prayer bundle is here to empower and uplift you every step of the way. Now, many women use a complementary method to enhance charting, right? OPKs, ovulation predictor kits. And if you want to use those along with charting, you can, right? Consider using those OPKs alongside fertility charting, not just using ovulation tests, but using it as a complementary to charting. Because OPKs can detect the surge in your luteinizing hormone that occurs before ovulation. So you can use them to help you confirm your fertile window and provide additional insight into your ovulation timing, but they do not confirm ovulation, right? The basal body temperature, your temperature is what confirms ovulation. Okay, now that we went over tips for each fertility sign, let's talk about some common charting challenges. Consistency, right? I've talked about this before. Make charting a daily habit, right? Even during the weekends or on vacations, right? Want to set or incorporate reminders into your morning routine to ensure that you don't miss, right? Don't miss your window, don't miss the temperature, don't miss when you need to be able to, chart your cervical mucus, right? Consistency is key, but it is often a challenge for many women. And I also, know that things happen, right? You wake up late, or you don't wake up at the same time each day, and that can be hard. But consistency is key. Stress and lifestyle factors are a challenge sometimes. We have to keep in mind that stress, illness, travel, disrupted sleep patterns, they all can affect your temperature and your cervical mucus. So we want to take that into account. So when you are charting, just record any relevant factors that may impact your charting to gain an understanding of your fertility patterns, right? Chart interpretation can be a challenge, right? uh because you're looking at your chart and you're not knowing you don't know what to look for, maybe if you have hormonal imbalances or things like that. So educating yourself on how to interpret your chart can be helpful, right? Looking at different fertility books available, right? Look for temperature shifts, patterns in your cervical mucus change, correlations between your signs, right? These all can help in charting interpretation. But you can also seek guidance from fertility experts for assistance in understanding your chart better. I actually, inside of my fertility mindset mentorship, have a chart review where women can submit their charts, and I'll review their charts with them and help them interpret anything that might be going on. So if you encounter difficulties or have concerns about your charting data, seeking guidance, professional guidance, seeking a fertility coach can provide some valuable insights, valuable support, right, during this journey, accountability, right? Fertility coaches can offer specialized knowledge, right, and help address any underlying issues affecting your fertility. They can guide you in interpreting your chart, provide additional tools and techniques to enhance your fertility journey, and suggest appropriate interventions if needed. Remember, effective charting requires patience, right? Consistency and attention to detail. Be open to the journey and don't be discouraged by minor setbacks. Over time, you'll become more attuned to your body, right? The body that God has given you and its unique fertility patterns. Oh my goodness, sis. I pray that today's episode was helpful. I pray that it was helpful for you. If it was, please leave a review to help this podcast reach other TTC women of faith, and tag me at coach.avi on Instagram so I can shout you out. I can't wait to help you balance your hormones and deepen your faith so that you can get pregnant without the overwhelm. Blessings and baby dust.